Okay, going now to Tyrel Ventura, who's made several films in his own right, documentaries. Also, one of the great researchers and producers with last season and this season. Tyrel, it is good to have you here with us today.
Thank you for having me back, Alex. It's always a pleasure being on your show. So
much is going on. So much is happening. I've got the bullet points here that we're able to reveal. I just want to read these on air. Thousands of FEMA coffins removed from Georgia's storage yards minutes before Jesse Ventura and myself arrived to film them. Congressman who co-sponsored authorizing FEMA camps says U.S. government centers, quote, have happy children in them. You can't make that up. FEMA camp bill co-sponsored repeatedly ducks TV cameras. TV crew finds locked doors, double fences, escape warnings in homeland-security residential facility. I was there with your father. Officials will neither confirm nor deny American citizens are being held. Fusion centers are popping up all over America to spy on ordinary citizens, says ex-FBI whistleblower. Fusion Center spokesman Lance Clem admits that domestic intelligence gathering centers have no oversight. We police ourselves, says Clem. This is groundbreaking, Tyrel.
It's truly amazing, Alex, that we were, I mean, I'm so excited to get this episode on the air because I'm as far as I know, this is the first time anything in mainstream media has really presented an honest, real look at this kind of problem that the fusion centers and FEMA camps and all of that's coming, you know, that are popping up around the country. And I'm excited as hell to have it on TV. And I thank you again for all of your help in helping us get this episode put together and get it on the air for people to see and people to realize that this is reality. This is not fiction. This is not us pontificating on what could be. These things exist. We went and filmed them with our cameras. You know, they're real. They're out there, and it's chilling. It's very chilling.
It is. I traveled quite a bit with your father, Governor Ventura, and of course he traveled even a lot more. Where do we start? Giving people a prelude to what's coming up tomorrow night. I mean, what do you think of the hour-long episode as the most powerful info?
I think, truthfully, the most powerful info that really struck me when I was watching it is not only seeing them live in person, but also just the simple fact that the two congressmen that we confronted about the bill, I don't even think they had any idea it was in there. They were just told to co-sponsor this bill and follow orders and do your job. They had no clue that the thing is even in the bill. And so it just shows that they use the ineptness and the frankly idiocy of these elected officials and just tell them how to vote and tell them what to put in their bills. And they just go along with it. Why? Because they want to get reelected the next year.
Well,
and it's chilling, you know.
Well, I'd made 3 films on FEMA camps previous to my 4th film, and everything we talked about was reverse engineered from parts that have been declassified of Rex 84 and the type of camps our government set up in third world countries they control. But we said that they are old sports stadiums. And we've since been to sports stadiums in Chicago where they train to put citizens in them. We knew that they were prisons. We knew that it was the cover was for immigrants, but it was really for everybody. That even came out in the Houston Chronicle. But then to read the Emergency Centers Act, it states, you know, that it's for families, it's for medical care, it's for homeless people. You know, we're going to lock you up at night, and we've got to have these all over the country. I mean, it's just like in Nazi Germany.
The discretion and how they use these camps is completely at the discretion of Homeland Security. It doesn't say what they can't use them for. It doesn't say what, you know, they're supposed to be used for. It just says completely at the discretion of Homeland Security.
Exactly.
And to me, that's truly frightening.
And that's where I was going with it, is that in Nazi Germany, they didn't say we're taking you to a slave camp or a death camp. They said we're taking you to a living center to be safe.
Yeah, a happy fun village. You know, no, it's horrible. It truly shocked my father. It shocked me. You know, we'd always heard about these things, and you know, you don't get a good feeling until you're standing in front of one and you see it. You know, and you realize, my God, this is real. This is happening right now.
Well, Tyrel,
and you know, it's extraordinary.
It is. What the mainstream media has done is they cherry pick straw men. They go out and show camps that aren't camps and then say no camps are real. That'd be like if I went to Antarctica and said, I'm looking for giraffes, and there are no giraffes in Antarctica on the bottom of the world, so giraffes don't exist. Or if I went to the Sahara Desert and said, I don't see any penguins, so penguins don't exist. Well, I would need to go, you know, to Antarctica to find penguins. I need to go to Africa to find a giraffe or an African elephant or a lion. So that's how they do this. You guys go to real, admitted FEMA camp emergency centers where they admit it could be for citizens, political dissidents, illegal aliens. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's admitted, and this is so groundbreaking. And look, I mean, I remember... Go ahead.
You can see the chain too. I mean, you can see how it's going to go down, and I hopefully, I mean, I believe we did a really good job of presenting this in the show. Is that you see the chain and how it all connects together? You know, with fusion centers to gather all the information and find out who the people are that they don't like, find the dissidents, find your gun owners, your activists. They compile all that information, and then they use that information then to spread out. So when the takeover does happen, under the guise of a national security threat or whatever, they have that information sitting there. They feed it out to the military, police, things like that, and then they have the camps built for where they're going to send you. And you can see the direct line. And it's shocking to me that, well, no, it's not shocking to me that the media ignores this or brings up straw man arguments, because half of your media today, if not more than half, are completely just follow the party line. I don't want to get fired. Weak, journalists who I wouldn't even call them journalists. And the other half are probably, in on it with the status quo and the corporate influence and the true, corporate fascism that we live in this country.
Powerful statements, all true. Tyrel Ventura, our guest. Let's come back and talk more about this episode. This is groundbreaking information. We are back live. Tyrel Ventura with us for about another 40 minutes. Then Max Kaiser. In the last 20 minutes of the show today, I will reveal the real puppet masters, and it's not George Soros. Glenn-Beck now says the government may stage in Oklahoma City to blame it on patriots. Welcome to the club, Glenn. You're finally starting to figure it out. That's coming up in the last 20 minutes of the transmission today. All the huge economic developments. I want to tell just a brief story here. As a consultant on conspiracy theory last season and this season, I mean, I remember meeting with Ventura, giving him documents, meeting with Tyrel, and Ventura was like, yeah, global warming might be real. I mean, they went into this, and those war room scenes are real, having real arguments. I mean, that's really what their views are. And Ventura found it was a fraud at the end of the multi-month investigation. They spend a lot of money on this production. They go all over the place. And it's the same thing with FEMA camps. I remember talking to Jesse Ventura, it was probably 6 months ago, and talking to the rest of their crew, and they're like, okay, all right. And they're going through all the FEMA camps. They're finding the straw men, fake stuff. They're finding real things. They're like, we'll see. And then they're totally blown away. So this is a real investigation. And for me, the information is what is sensational, in it. And tomorrow, I believe, is the most powerful info. I believe the global warming was the biggest last year, and the population reduction episode I was in as well. This, Tyrel, other than a deathbed confession by one of the main commanders of killing Kennedy next week, which is new to television, not to this show, I can't think of any episode you guys have put together that is more groundbreaking. Do you agree with that?
Oh, I completely do. I mean, each episode we try to present something that we know that people who aren't paying attention to, non-mainstream media programming, for people that don't watch your show or that don't follow this, that's our target audience. We're trying to shake those people that don't normally pay attention to these things, but yeah, no, this show is is amazing. It's truly extraordinary. I think it's one of the best shows this season. I think all of our shows this season, we tried to break a story that the main normal people in their daily lives don't hear and need to hear. And that's what's so great about True TV, is being able to give us that outlet right on satellite TV, right on cable, right where some guy's at home flipping channels and he stops and he starts watching and he can see the truth or he can get information hopefully that then he will take and go and start listening to your show or go and start doing his own independent research. And realizing that there's for all the smoke out there, we're showing you where the fires are.
Well, the government, just this year, I sent a crew up to Chicago, And they, with foreign Polish and other troops, they trained to put Americans in the sports stadium and admitted that it was for the United States. So a lot of this is hidden in plain view. They've had gun confiscation drills in Arcadia, Iowa. And we saw what happened in New Orleans. We have the clergy response teams and InfraGard and, you know, so much of this that is covered. That's why the search term today is fema-camps, folks. So people find the Infowars.com story that has all the proof, that has the link to the TV show, so people who aren't aware of this can find out, yes, this is real, yes, this is going on. And all of these different cover-ups are falling. For years, they've been doing enhanced pat-downs where they squeeze breast and genitals. Now it's major national news. And, you know, even CBS News says backlash grows over TSA naked strip searches. I mean, folks are getting angry right now, and the illusions, the iron curtain of disinformation is falling.
Yeah, yeah, and the key to understand, too, is that, the people that are doing that, the people that are, like, in charge of these facilities and things like that, a lot of them have no idea what their facility is truly going to be used for. They just are government employees earning a paycheck and not aware of the bigger picture, much like the rest of us. And so, or your TSA person who is patting you down, he's not aware of the repercussions of what he's doing and what he's making normal and what you're supposed to just take.
Tyrel, great points. Got to go to break. Back in 70 seconds.